Hi, I'm Nancy Lord, and I'd like your vote as Nye County District Attorney on the Republican primary. I think there's still time to switch. I would like to be District Attorney because I'm one of those people who wants to take this country back, and we can't do that unless we start running for office. I'm very, very qualified for the job. I've been an attorney for 20 years. I've worked as a criminal defense attorney, a corporate attorney, civil litigation, and patents and trademarks. I've done some of these things at the same time, so if you add up the years that I've done them all, I'd be 80. But that's okay, because I didn't stop doing one thing because I learned something else. As district attorney, I do a lot of things. I would like to improve the training, not just for the deputies. I'd like to see some training for them, some CLE credits we could get in their own office, have each one of them prepare a topic every month, the Fourth Amendment, vehicle searches, corporate issues, and then have the other ones take the course and talk about things. But I'd also like to see training for some of the citizens. For parents, gang symbols. How do you know when your child is in a gang? Sometimes the parents don't know until the first arrest. The child could have been in the gang for 3 years. There's things to look for. The hand signals, the tattoos, the clothes, the elderly. The elderly are victimized in this county. There are people that go out of their way to meet them. They get in their homes, they get power of attorneys. There are people pushing investment scams. Everyone's got some wonderful idea that they just need a few $1,000s to get off the ground. Now, I work with people with ideas, and there's a big difference between someone who really believes in what they're doing and wants to get a patent or trademark, form an incorporation, and someone who just wants investment money. There are people very good at making things sound good for investors, and the elderly have to be careful when they invest money or give someone access to their personal information. I'd like to see the political prosecutions end. The prosecution of someone like Harley Culkey was a debacle. Harley did nothing more than come back to a meeting that he told he could come back to. He shouldn't have been strung up on 4 misdemeanor counts. They made it misdemeanors because they knew no jury would convict him. But Judge Brisbane didn't convict him either, except on 1 count, which is under appeal. Bob Smith, elderly guy, was tased after he called the police to help him get his wife out of the bathtub. And then, because he sued them, he was stopped over a defective registration tag and beaten up. We all know what happened to Ted Holmes. He was talking to a man, a cop, at the Nugget. He said, "I'm a retired deputy myself. Here's my badge." Said retired on it. Charged with impersonating an officer. These are wrong, and it's a terrible waste of resources when we need people to go after the predators that I'm talking about. Too often I've seen defense attorneys say, it's only a property crime. Well, it's not only a property crime to the victim. These are devastating. Imagine yourself, your mother, your grandmother, losing $50,000, $100,000 when they don't have that much more in their retirement account. Got to be stopped. I'd like to see the plea bargains better negotiated. Very often people don't know what kind of time they're looking at. It's left to parole and probation. As a prosecutor, I will make sure the person is prepared to do the amount of time they're going to be sentenced to, and if they're not ready to do it, go to trial. As it is now, sometimes all they agree on is what's being pled guilty to, and the sentencings become many trials. And we need to move the cases along faster. There are cases that have been sitting in this system for years. I just tried one that was 3 years old. For the victim, it's horrible. There's a rape victim in town whose case has been held up for years because the defendant, the perpetrator, is affiliated with Nye County. That's disgusting. That needs to stop. I will represent Nye County as an entity, and I will give it the same protection that I've given my corporate accounts. When you represent an entity, whether it be a corporation or a county, you must protect the interests of the entity. Sometimes you do need to represent the officers, you sign corporate conflict letters, etc., but I would only do that if it was absolutely necessary, such as litigation, where, say, the commissioners were named personally. They should not be represented on an ongoing basis because it causes conflict and privilege issues that I don't need if I'm going to represent the county zealously. It would also be very important to protect them. If it turns out the rumors of corruption are all false and everything was on the up and up, it would be nice to be able to say, These people are not my clients, but I can tell you nothing's been done wrong here. I have other training besides law. I also was a doctor. I have a medical degree. I took a little extra training in psychiatry and 2 years training in pathology, where I performed 100 autopsies. So I will be able to read an autopsy or a medical record. And I have some understanding of psychiatric drugs and psychiatric syndromes. This will help me a lot as District Attorney. I hope you vote for me. Nancy Lord, Nye County District Attorney.